Well, hey there, it's Jen.
And Elke, welcome back to the Jen and Elke Show, where we help you as a Zazzle designer sell on the platform and make money in your online business. And our segment for today with the tip of the week is don't make this mistake with the frames function that Zazzle recently introduced. And it's really important that you don't make this mistake. So watch to the end so that you can sell more.
So we're going to dive into Zazzle.com, and at the time of this recording, they just updated some new features for the frames option. I am just going to personalize a pillow for the purpose of this tutorial, and we have some things that we want to tell you first before you dive into the frames and start choosing things without really realizing what's going on. They've added a whole bunch of different clip arts and text options and shapes and everything. Specifically, we're talking about frames, but this will apply to all of these other elements here. When you hover over them, there will be a little information icon, and if you click on that, then it will pop up with information about the particular piece of artwork or frame or shape that you've chosen. And it will say royalty free if you're able to use it for your design. For example, if I click on this one here, it also says royalty free. However, I just recently picked a photo option for a pillow and I clicked on it and it didn't have the royalty free option, and I was not able to post it for sale because this is obviously artwork that is not allowed to be sold by a designer, but it can be used by a customer if they would like to purchase this and customize it on their own. So just be very wary of that little eyeball, like the information icon, to see if you can post for sale. Because if you've decided, for example, to choose this one here that didn't have the royalty free option and make a really beautiful design with it and try to post for its sale afterwards, you might have been wasting your time as a designer because you're not able to then sell the product. Okay. So just make sure that you check that little information icon before posting anything for sale and starting to design. I've got my layers up here. I have a grid, I've got a frame that I've chosen that I made sure that it is royalty free. And I have made sure that this is an option that, I've made sure that this is now, first of all, a template. Previously, before, when you're creating an image and you want to make it a photo template, for example, if you just had the photo as is on your product, you would go into the menu on the right-hand side and say, make a template object. And then this photo in itself would be a template. And I'm just going to showcase to you what I mean by that. Then when we looked at the pillow, we could see that personalize the details, and this image would then be a template so I could replace it. Okay. But what we're going to do, because we're going to input it into a frame, I don't want that. Make this a template object here. We don't need to actually make this picture a template object first. We just need to pop it into that frame that we have, or the shape that we've chosen that is a frame and or a grid. And then this whole grid or frame or whatever you have chosen to import your photo into that space, this technically becomes the template. Okay, so I want to make sure
the object that you have to make a template. Yeah,
the object is the template. So I have now, let's just go back. The frame that I've chosen is now the template rather than the actual photo inside. Now, this doesn't make very much sense because we're very used to having the photo be a template, but because we've put the photo into this frame or into the grid or the frame becomes a template. This is just one singular one. And we're going to do another video talking about the grids because this might be different than the grids. So just make sure that you understand that, because we only have one photo associated with the frame right now. And now I'm going to go in and see my image here on the outside. And I can see that when I say personalize it, then the image within this frame is now a template. Okay, so you don't have to do double templates, or you don't have to create your photo as a template first, because, for example, we're just going to show you now the other thing that would happen if you decided to just create it as a template on its own without creating the frame as a template. So I'm just going to make sure that I deselect this. I don't want this to be a template object. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to make sure that my photo is a template. and then I'm going to import it into the frame, and then I'm going to say done, and then I don't have that personalize option anymore. So the frame is what needs to be a template. Even though I made my photo a template originally before I put it into the frame, it doesn't recognize it as a template. So make sure that you put your photo into the frame, and then you need to select your frame and make it a template. And then that is where the personalize, the details will come into play, and you're able to then have the customer be able to customize your image. Okay?
Very well explained. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to learn more about design, we have a great opportunity for you to come into our Design Divas membership. We meet twice a week where we do critiques.
Twice a month.
Oh, sorry, twice a month. Twice a month. Yes, twice a month.
I know you'd want it to be twice a week. Everyone loves those sessions.
I know, sorry about that. Twice a month where we meet for an hour, and we're in a group setting, and you get to submit a design where it will be critiqued and given feedback by myself, and you can use that feedback to post that product for sale in a newer version and potentially make money on it. Plus, we learn a lot about design skill sets and also things like we just covered here in this little tutorial, all these little nuances that you might not know or will take a lot of time trying to figure it out on your own. And this is to help you fast track your design skill sets on the Zazzle marketplace. So make sure that you
get to have a lot of fun.
Yes, that's true. And designing is a lot of fun too. It's my favorite thing on Zazzle. So I get to be in a community where we have a lot of fun and design together.
Yeah. So click the link in the description, and let's see you in that membership.
Yes, we'll see you there. Bye.